feet Sunday evening. Impact at 11.0 feet. The river widens up to 400 feet across. It floods pastoral lands on the right bank and woodlands on the left.
400 feet
Flood
across.
history. This crest compares to a previous crest at 12.1 feet on October 13, 2018. Here is a special message from the National Weather Service. For the following
I
county,
said straight
Johnson,
start,
North
2018,
Carolina,
20 to 20.
is now in effect until Saturday evening.
Keep it
The
up.
flood warning continues for the News River.
This is what I'm talking about.
Until Saturday evening. At
It's
7:15 p.m.
always
Tuesday,
within
the 6th was
seconds of
7.
connecting to this site. We
Flood
start that
stage is
problem.
15.0 feet. Minor flooding
No,
is
we get the
occurring
first
and minor
10
flooding
seconds.
is forecast. The river will fall below flood stage early Thursday morning to 13.6 feet and then begin rising Thursday evening. It will then rise above flood stage late 15.9 feet Friday evening. It will fall below flood stage again Saturday morning. Impact at 15.0 feet. Flooding begins along the News River Walk. Water nears the base of the holding tank at the water treatment plant. Impact at 18.0 feet. The Smithfield Town Park and the News River Walk at the S70 Bridge are flooded. Flood history. This crest compares to a previous crest of 15.9 feet on
0.9. What is
Here is the latest
0.9?
National Weather Service forecast for Raleigh and vicinity.
Like, I don't fucking
West
get
of
it.
tonight, mostly
One
clear.
problem after another.
Colder with lows in the upper 20s.
Like I was about to say,
North winds
but I
5 to
noticed
10
the
miles
keeps
per hour.
cutting up.
Wednesday, mostly
Wow,
sunny.
you just closed the
Much
tab.
cooler with highs in the mid-40s.
Choose what music
Northeast
to play.
winds 5 to 10 miles per hour.
You don't have all
Wednesday
those
night,
functions.
partly cloudy with
You
a
didn't
chance
get
of
all
rain
the good
showers
pieces
in the
of the
evening.
face
Then
code.
cloudy with rain showers or
That,
freezing rain
fix.
after midnight.
Holy
Ice
fuck.
accumulation around our trace. Cold with lows in the lower 30s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 90%. Thursday, rain showers or freezing rain in the morning, then rain showers in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 30s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation near 100%. Thursday night, rain showers. Near steady temperature in the upper 30s. North winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance of rain near 100%. Friday, partly sunny. A chance of showers in the morning. Highs in the upper 40s. Chance of rain 50%. Friday night, mostly clear. Colder with lows in the mid-20s. Saturday and Saturday night, clear. Highs in the upper 30s. Lows in the mid-20s. Sunday, sunny. Highs in
You see me reaching for the
clear in
controls.
the evening, then becoming partly cloudy.
Bro.
Lows in the
But it
mid-30s.
doesn't give me no problem.
Monday,
Except
mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of rain. Monday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the
make up your mind what
mid-30s.
you're gonna do, eh?
Tuesday,
Like, all
mostly
you're gonna do
sunny.
is waste your time
Highs in
watching
the upper
nothing. That's what I don't get.
Here are the 11 p.m. observations for the Northeast Piedmont. At the Raleigh-Durham Airport, it was fair. The temperature was 36 degrees, the dew point 23, and the relative humidity 59%. The
In more conventional flying news, Air Canada's acquisition of Air Transat is up in the air now. After Canada's largest airline, Air Canada, said it would not
It was
allow
more like
more
airplane
time for the deal to
news.
go through.
Buddy,
You see, the deal had to be approved.
they were
by
talking
the
about a flying
European Union
car.
by February 15th, which it wasn't, and that opens the door now to either party canceling the deal.
I gotta
next
check
week.
this book.
And surmise Air Canada may want to do. Shares in Air Canada were up 4.8%, $23.42. Transat AT stock fell 7.8%.
Don't buy. I mean, unless you're doing this inverse short selling thing. But it's probably getting short sold. Hey, go for it then. But I hate those motherfuckers, so does everybody else.
Krispy Kreme on Thursday will sell a donut that looks like the planet itself, caramel dipped, topped with a swirl that resembles Mars, even sprinkled with chocolate cookie crumb.
Let's answer the phone like the government. Air Canada, we're sorry you hate us.
Markets today,
How can we make it worse?
points to a record finish of 18,492. Canada stocks were strong. The Dow
Oh,
up 64
really?
to a record 31,522. The S&P fell 2 points. The Nasdaq down 47. Canadian dollar 78.73 cents. U.S. top stories next on 680 News.
Hi,
I'm Adam, founder of NewBorrow.com, and I started our company after I got fed up with the mortgage loan process.
They kept asking me all these goddamn questions, and they said, no, you need to fucking go, like in a bag or something.
It was amazing service.
They treated me like a valued client and outperformed anyone I spoke to. Want to lower your mortgage payments and save a little money?
Use your home to get a loan with New
So I guess this round we don't have the same. Yeah, it's different. They're calling them non-state actors. There's different people playing this game. They all think they're the super genius. They're going to be the first one to go do it. All you're doing is making it easier for the authorities to find this shit later when we want to do it. So.
The human team. We all live here.
So my internet connection will sometimes literally get turned on and off, and on and off, and on and off, and on and off. It's not a loose wire. A loose wire wouldn't do that. I can't think of what would be wrong with a piece of equipment to make it do that. Yeah, so what's the human element? All right.
More important things to do than be stuck in traffic.
Listen for up-to-date traffic reports only on 680 News. Enrique Amateurs, our editor this evening, Julia Rumasi at the digital desk. This is CFTR 680 News at 11:30. Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather.
That was
680 News.
That was like a
Wednesday, February 16th,
ringtone, not ringtone, but like when you're dialing out on the phone.
As the overall COVID case count drops, variants of concern are rising. Cases of the more transmissible strains now identified in 15 public health units across the province. York Region's COVID-19 Enforcement Task Force hands out some 24 charges to businesses and residences caught not following pandemic rules.
Premier Ford turning down the NDP's proposal for provincially legislated paid sick days during the pandemic.
Without paid sick days, workers are in the impossible decision of choosing between staying home and following public health advice or going to work sick.
Ford says the federal government already has programs in place.
And more than 300,000 Pfizer vaccines were supposed to land in Canada today, but they're stuck at a UPS cargo terminal in Kentucky after a winter storm forces its closure.
But it doesn't have to be kept at -70. You could just ship it up here now.
TSX closes at another record high, so does the Dow.
UPS is another one.
Involved in this year's Roll Up the Rim to Win contest, Tim Hortons will explain in business at 56. Nothing for the Leafs, who get back at it tomorrow for a date with Ottawa, but the Raptors beat the Bucks in Milwaukee. Sports at 45. 680 News Time, 11:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig.
Oh, there'd be a huge shit. It's one hockey team. It doesn't even have to be all of them. They'll retire all the numbers. It'll be a huge ceremony. We'll do a thing every year, like an anniversary thing. 25 years from now, oh, remember the Maple Leafs of what year is this? 2020? Like what's the 21, 22 season? We're going into whatever. You know, the COVID years.
Anymore, and MTO has zoomed out the camera, so I'm assuming this problem has been cleared away. If I don't see it, it's not real, right? That's how it works. We have the Browns line, Evans Avenue, ramps to the north, 427.
Wouldn't a flying car just be a plane? When it's flying? Yes.
Now,
Yes,
Pizza
you're
Pizza
correct.
tried the new superfood pizza crust. It's vegan.
Fuck off, I got
gluten-free,
Santos
and
nuns.
antioxidant-rich vegetables like purple sweet potato. Now at Pizza Pizza. Next report's at 11:41 with the forecast. Here's Natasha Ranza. High.
Some lake effect snow to the north, especially Innisfil, Barrie, back towards Collingwood. Watch for that tonight. By the morning, it's going to be a sunny start in Toronto, a cold one as well. Waking up to -16, wind chill -20. We'll build in a bit of cloud through the afternoon, but it's a fairly calm day. A very slight chance, 30% chance of some flurries, especially through the east end. With
Something took the little piece of muffin chunk I left in the cave with the carrots
degrees.
sticking out of it.
Downtown Toronto right now clear, -11, feeling like -17. 680 News Time, 11:33.
But the problem is I'm desensitizing them to traps. They might walk right into, you know, your stated issue snap, mouse trap.
Their heads, saying the move could
They're like, oh, I know what these are. This is where they give us food.
because
Snap.
it's not a safe decision.
Those alarming words coming as variant cases continue to grow. 680's Michelle Mackey joins us with the latest.
The number of confirmed cases of variants of concern now stands at 319. Is that a high enough number to warrant an emergency break on reopening? Ontario's Associate Chief Medical Officer of Health says she is still waiting on that guidance from the Public Health Measures Table.
I think that Dr. Brown in his modeling, I believe, said 10% is when it would start to really skyrocket.
We're currently at 7% of COVID-19 cases testing positive as variants of concern, according to the province.
Except for the last 2 weeks of Toronto's numbers.
Dr. Michael Warner, Medical Director of Critical Care at Michael Garron Hospital, doesn't see the logic in reopening.
The decisions that are being made about reopening,
you know, critical she wasn't, she said that,
and essentially allowing a third wave to wash over us can only be political decisions, because from a health and safety perspective, they make absolutely no sense.
Michelle Mackey, 680 News.
The York Region COVID-19 Enforcement Task Force has laid 24 charges against residents and businesses while issuing over 700 compliance education activities this last week. York Regional Police and the City of Markham both issuing 11 charges, while the City of Vaughan and Richmond Hill issuing 1 charge each under the Reopening Ontario Act. Some of the businesses are facing an $880 fine, including big box store Walmart on Applewood Crescent in Vaughan for
yeah, but Walmart will go fight it. No, you got to cut that down, Your Honor.
From separate undisclosed condo buildings in Markham were also charged, one of them for not wearing a mask.
Meantime, educators in Durham region are looking at what a delayed March break will mean for students and staff. Durham District School Board's Director of Education, Nora Marsh, telling board members pandemic coping strategies are taking a hit.
So one of the things we're talking about, but it's in early stages right now, is the impact of the loss of March break on student well-being potentially, and their sense of energy and completing all of the work for their credits.
She says this new
they're
mid-April break
just
is
rubber stamp pass like everybody else is. Damn it.
Coursework and tests have been planned out. Education Minister Stephen Lecce made the March break switch last week, worried about the spread of the new COVID-19 variants.
Advocates and opposition leaders say people will continue to go into work sick if the Ford government refuses to give workers paid sick days. The Premier was grilled about this today and says it should be a federal responsibility.
A growing chorus of voices are demanding provincially legislated paid sick days in Ontario.
We know that without paid sick days, workers are in the impossible decision of choosing between staying home and following public health advice or going to work sick.
But the Premier, he says the federal government has already set aside taxpayer money to fund the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit to provide income to employees who are unable to work because they're sick. But critics highlighting complaints that it takes too long for the money to show up in bank accounts, and there are also eligibility
Go to welfare.
barriers.
Stupid, I can tell you for EI.
At least 50% of their wages for the week before they can apply.
In the legislature today, the Ford government refused to support the NDP's
Weird
call for
arbitrary
funding
limits and
instead to
requirements.
pass 7 permanent paid sick days plus 14 additional days during a pandemic. For City News, I'm Tina Gazzani.
Meantime, the Elementary Teachers Federation reacted to the Premier's lack of support of paid sick days. The ETFO president saying despite repeated calls from workers, experts, and others, the Ford government has refused to implement the life-saving measure. President Sam Hammond says it's time for
he's dead or not.
to take immediate action to help save
trying to walk
lives. In a
away?
statement released today, the union says paid sick days are now more important than ever, with students
Your
and
wings all
teachers
fucked
returning
up,
to
bro.
in-person learning. He adds that the Premier has been urging people to stay home if they're sick, but is not providing the security to do so. The union says passing Bill 239 would be one way to slow the spread of COVID-19.
New rules for travelers coming into Canada and extra costs for mandatory quarantining has some of Canada's snowbirds thinking
They
about
won't stay away from
staying
my eyes,
But
and
in
they
6
keep
days,
trying to
Bill
get the
Martino
exact
tells us that
boundaries
could
of what I can
complicate
and can't see and
The
make
new
out.
restrictions have some snowbirds considering the idea of remaining down south
I don't know
longer.
where a flag gets that
Maine
impetus
Kodak
from, but
Kodak
that's what it's
personal
got to be
injury
doing.
law says there is a risk.
But the risk is this, that is the travel insurance going to cover the insured snowbird in the event that they extend their time period beyond what they initially bought a policy for?
He
I got
says
the insurance
snowbirds really need
companies
to look at
in
the fine
ass
print
to
of their
make it.
policies and make a call to their insurer early to find out if they're covered. According to Kodak, the most common reasons an insurance company may not pay for medical expenses: pre-existing medical conditions, your medical condition must be stable before you leave, and exceptions in the policy limit full protection. I'm Phil Martino.
The blast of winter weather that tracked from Texas to the Maritimes also delaying COVID-19 vaccine shipments.
I wonder which one of those two is more prepared.
The Pfizer vaccine shipments that were expected to arrive today have been delayed by 24 to 36 hours due to poor weather conditions on both sides of the border. Specifically, a UPS cargo terminal in Kentucky had to temporarily shut down due to the large buildup of snow and ice causing the delay. The full shipment of Pfizer vaccine should arrive in Canada by Thursday at the latest.
And a deep freeze is now settling in. The city of Toronto issuing an extreme cold weather alert. The city issues the alert when temperatures are expected to drop by -15 or colder, or with a wind chill of -20. And 680's meteorologist Natasha Ravsahai says we have both of those overnight.
I'm forecasting lows of -16 degrees, feeling like -20 by the morning.
And she says the alert will most likely be in place for just one night. Warming centers are open across the city. Coming up in 30 seconds, a look at your gas prices.
680 News Time, 11:39.
Everyone is doing their part to stay safe, to stay healthy. It's time to look forward to a healthy future, a healthy you, a healthy planet. Healthy Planet is your essential source for high-quality vitamins, sports nutrition, and more. Now through March 10th, save on tons of items, including 25% off Love Good Fats, all bars, and 20% off Jameson.
Oh, I wonder. Because the marketing people will tell you, oh, everybody's concerned about health now. They should all be trying to buy all this stuff. But if they're running radio ads, it implies the sales are down because nobody's fucking working. I bought a pack of chicken dogs for $1.50. Show me something in their store I can buy it for $1.50.
At this time of year. Tomorrow, we are not expecting it to be a snow day. Very pleasant conditions expected around the GTA. So
have you seen it? You're television people. You saw it. You drive too. You
afternoon. We'll talk about the potential for a little more snow this week coming up here on CTV News.
Staying in control of your money can be tough. Luckily, the CIBC Smart Account helps by actively monitoring your everyday banking. It even sends you alerts when you may be short
that's what I need. That's how I'm going to stay in control of my money. Yeah,
and stay in control of your money.
I don't think that's what we're
drug
going to do.
makers that say no subnational group, no province, no city can come to you from our country and buy vaccines directly. Everybody has to come through us. Okay, fine. That's not an unusual way of doing things in the drug world. But if you then followed things up, well, then everybody gets to blame you for it. And this government has handled it so bad. I got a real kick last week out of Trudeau having to ask Modi, the Prime Minister of India, for vaccinating. That it's usually the other way around. That developing countries.
India has lost because their numbers are going down
for vaccines. But there was Trudeau asking Modi from India, who doesn't like Trudeau, who after that Mr. Dress-Up tour of India that Trudeau went on in 2018, has
I'm not sure what that's about.
Trudeau.
I know the incident. I just
has no respect for him.
I thought it was the brown face.
There's some poetic justice in there that Trudeau has to go.
Well, you've never heard of brown face. You've heard of black. You did blackface and brown face, supposedly.
But Lauren, I mean, you may not have respect for him, but business is business. I mean, I don't have much doubt to you that India is going to be doing a lot of business with Canada on vaccines because
did he
India
just get high one day looking at the
supply,
mirror,
I guess,
paint
the
his face like the mirror
biggest
is fucking thing?
in the world,
I don't know
and
what's
they're
on
neck
up with
and
this
neck
guy's head.
with the Americans on manufacturing COVID vaccine. So they've got this
Manufacturing
supply, they've got
COVID.
something to sell, and we are, to say the least, a motivated customer.
And the other side of this is that we have now, because we're so late to the game, we put all of our eggs in a Chinese vaccine basket.
But they didn't. They did and they didn't. Damn it.
We're so late to the game of buying Western vaccines that we have now ordered more vaccines per capita than any other country in the world. With the addition of the promised amount from India this week, we now have...
There's another country that bought a whole bunch extra, but the intention was to give it away or something. I forget what shit's
so at some point we're going to have vaccine parties, and we're going to put vaccines into our bubble baths, and There's going to be so much
By the way, if you can access an expert for me in Alberta or anywhere that can prove to me that orders inoculate populations, please pass them on.
Exactly.
I'd love to believe that all these orders and all this paperwork and all these talking points. It feels to me politically what we're being set up for is this massive.
Old people talking.
He said, she said, where these
like
beds.
that. That's all.
If we don't get the
And
kind
you
of numbers
believe them and never looked it up. There's no mandatory vaccines in Canada. None.
And they showed up, and the provinces don't have the wherewithal to get it done. Blame them.
Or because this is a government that has had a fight with big pharmaceutical companies since it came to power in 2015, and that's a continuation of a fight that the Chrétien government had with big pharmaceutical companies in the 90s.
Barry and Honey Sherman come into it. $5 billion.
Well, we had all these orders, but
you still get murdered. You don't fuck it out.
Pharmaceutical companies have stiffed us, and it's.
The thing is,
spell it
I find some of these arguments laughable, but what always halts my laughter is that real folks are suffering and real folks are dying while this yak is taking place.
We're going to be in masks, kept away from our loved ones who are in long-term care, depending on what province you're in, prevented from having your family over for dinner for months. We're not going to go to hockey games. We're not going to go to concerts. We're not going to go to church or synagogue or mosque the way we used to for months because we can't get enough vaccine.
Folks, my number is 1-877-399-9898 if you want in on the conversation. 1-877-399-9898. And there's no way that I'm going to let Lauren Gunter go without also weighing in on today's announcement, supposedly making the public safer from guns. And this idea
what about bullets?
We were told about 20 minutes ago,
that
the BB gun is now considered a gateway gun. That's a new one on the run that by Lauren Gunter as well. In a moment,
what about those Nintendo guns shooting at the ducks? You're trying to hit the dog, and you're trying to hit the dog, and the dog won't die, and you have that shit.
You are a woman.
And that's when you figure out that guns aren't going to solve all the fucking problems. A gateway gun. What about lightsabers in Star Wars? Are those
because they could be up above the freezing mark. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that. That's a look at your 7-day forecast. All right, I'm sending it back over to you. Thank you, Lindsay.
Next week.
Well,
Thanks. At the end of February, the temperature's going up. Well, we all knew that.
West Village, a giant snowman becoming a neighborhood favorite. Multimedia journalist Brian Weatherhead has more.
Oh, the snowman. A lot of people are just taking photos of it. And
multimedia journalist.
The best snowman I've ever seen in my life.
Instagram/TikTok, walking around his neighborhood.
It's amazing, and it just brings a lot of happiness to everybody.
The driving force certainly has been for my daughter. She's, in a short time, already been through a lot in her life. And anytime we can get a smile on her face, it lights us right up. She just exudes joy. So that's really been the driving force. I can't remember. I think there was 7 different levels. And I have a plastic container that's about 2 feet deep, like a laundry bin. And you just pop that, and then you break the bricks. You do it in circles. Again, 14 feet high.
He was borrowing snow from all the neighbors' lawns. He was asking us if he could take it, so he was really working hard.
So there wasn't a shortage of motivation. I just needed the snow. And you build it stage by stage. You use water, you pack it, and ultimately, I didn't know if I could get there. I just kept on going.
Yeah, there was a ladder out there before, and it went up almost to like the nose. He had like a tall ladder. I never saw him actually sculpt it though, but
I could see him inside there. The ladder in this situation is essential for something that's high. What I did end up doing again is building from the inside.
You know, he's just trying to create some happiness in the neighborhood, and I think that's what he's done.
Yeah, he's right. The smile on those faces, it's nice. It's all worth it. Yeah, it's a great workout, and ultimately, yeah, it's going to melt. These are crazy times. So if we can make people stop.
Okay, he built a snowman. What, the story's not exciting enough? Oh, and that's how many legs you got?
And if you'd like to see the snowman for yourself, you can find him on Runnymede Road, just south of DeForest Road.
She has 7.
In sports, the Raptors were looking for a win tonight against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
Slow down for a second.
Fred VanVleet leading the way with 33 points.
She has 3 legs on the right side,
The Raptors beat the
and
Bucks
she's not missing any.
113.
She's
But
not
they
missing
hadn't
any.
finished the game without Kyle Lowry. He left in the third quarter with a sore left ankle. He
She's
did
not
manage
missing
18
any legs.
points and 6 rebounds,
She
though,
only has
before his
3 on the
exit.
right
Head
side.
coach Nick Nurse addressed Lowry's injury after the game and spoke about the
And
rest
some of
the
them
team
have 3 on the
stepping up.
left side. And when those two make babies, they have 6 legs. I'm not joking. 6-leg spiders.
You know, once in the first half, then once
Call
in the
them a
second.
defect or a mutation, but
They're going to evaluate it thoroughly here tonight and should know more tomorrow. You know, Fred did a great job of running the show. You know, they got a couple minutes to rest there, played pretty much the whole thing. I think we got, enough contributions kind of across the board from
blow up my sleeve, get me killed.
Pat Thomas came in and kind of held the fort down there. Obviously with Boucher and Baines both chipping in.
The Raptors will take on the Bucks for a rematch on Thursday night. Still ahead here on CTV News, more problems for weddings already postponed due to COVID-19. Some couples are finding out their venues have lost their
she's already made a web on me.
down
What the
big
fuck?
deposits.
See,
Right
that's
now,
how quickly you
they're
get caught
looking
up.
for answers ahead of the big day.
She's just hanging right in. I need a background.
This is Greg Carrasco from Oakville Nissan and Oakville Infinity, and for the
her,
month
but
of
I
February,
can't see her on
if you
the
come in and
fucking
service your
visuals.
vehicle at any one of my 2 stores, we will pay your HST. No tax February at Oakville Nissan and Oakville Infinity. We know that things are tough out there, and we are stepping up. So it doesn't matter which brand you drive, come in and service with us, and we will pay for your tax. This offer is aggressive. There's something happening here at Oakville Nissan.
Why don't you go here?
.com.
License 10349.
Northwood Mortgage. People don't usually sing about their mortgage, but at Northwood Mortgage they do. They sing about lower rates. They sing about greater cash flow. They sing because we help them. You could be singing about your mortgage too. Come on, try it with us. Northwood Mortgage. Come on, try it. Northwood Mortgage. There you go. Call or visit us today at northwoodmortgage.com.
We're working hard.
What are you doing?
With the Daily Grand Lotto, you can win $1,000 a day for life.
Wait, every single day?
She's wrapping up nothing.
So I'd start liking Mondays.
Probably.
But everybody hates Mondays, so I'd suddenly be an outcast, living on the fringes of society, a bizarre Monday-loving weirdo.
Yeah, she's only got 3 and she's not missing it.
$1,000 every day for life.
Then TGI.
I do not understand why Trudeau wins again and again, why he's still popular with a number of people, why he's still popular in many ridings with lots of population in several key provinces. They just don't understand, because all of their friends, no matter where they gather, feel the same way about him, and it's not someone that they vote for. Can you just put your political just your political hat on? I don't want to put any other words into this. Just the best political wisdom you can offer for those people who either don't understand or don't believe that he has millions of people who do want to vote for him.
So did Trump. With an explanation for that myself.
It's rubber stamp.
Easy enough to understand as somebody on the prairies why he's unpopular. It's very hard to understand why he then still wins elections, because he's run the energy industry into the ground. He spends money in ways that would have embarrassed any other prime minister, including if we'd ever elected any Democrat as prime minister. They would have been embarrassed to spend the kind of money that he's spending. And every time he speaks, he's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. Like I don't like what he says, and I don't like how he says it. So how does he continue to be popular? Well, I think there's a couple of things going on there. One is that he has really well identified the psyche of an awful lot of what I would call golden triangle voters. So Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa. They don't like things. They don't want to vote raw. They don't want to try too many things that are scary or new. They see themselves as the as the solid center of Canadian politics. And it just bothers the idea that we would try anything radical or different. They're very fashionable voters, so they are woke. So they see things like charges of systemic racism as more important than economic policy. And Trudeau speaks to that. He's a master virtue signaler. He does nothing. The way they've handled the vaccine buy-up is indicative, I think, of how unserious this government is. They just don't know how to do anything. They're young, or they spent all of their lives in NGOs, or they don't run businesses. They don't. Many of them very few of them have had private sector jobs, so they just haven't a clue how to run anything. But he's really, really good at speaking to people's desire to be morally superior to their neighbors.
But let me just focus on
yes, that is a very concise way to put it.
The majority of the country, and they do vote, and that's women. With women, I mean, realize there's a huge gap in men. Many more men vote for the Conservatives and Liberals, but it's the other way with women. And women, there are more of them, and they live longer. So to speak to me about what it is that he does that connects so effectively with women, especially women in urban and suburban parts of this country.
Yeah, I mean, he says the things that they say is
this close to misogyny, this close.
Belie all of that. Like he's a groper. He's a forcer. He has no respect for women in his cabinet. That's the one demographic that puzzles me the most, is that he claims to be the first male feminist Prime Minister of Canada, and he said when
but we have a female Prime Minister already. Who the fuck is this?
Well, it's because it's 2015, and people swoon at that sort of stuff. But he's handy. He doesn't. I don't think he speaks particularly well of or to women, and so that one really baffles me too. But he does. He says the things like gender equity, we're going to look at every new energy mega project through a gender lens.
What?
That appeals to an urban, educated.
Wow.
Partly engaged.
Somebody who paid a shitload of money for
a female voter.
Education.
A fully engaged female voter, like a fully engaged male voter, I don't think likes Trudeau. But the people who sort of half pay attention to politics do.
I abstained from voting last election.
The 2019 election, the Liberals as a strategy group.
Lauren, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold you over. Would you mind? Because there's more gas in the tank, and I want to hear more of it. So what we're going to do is just
run 8 minutes of commercials. After we've lost, every listener will let you battle on.
Deal from the super fan.
Oh shit!
Now the business report.
Good evening. There's going to be no rolling involved in this year's Roll Up the Rim to Win at Tim Hortons, Canada's ubiquitous coffee and donut.
You hear the advertising they give it.
Promotion this year is simply Roll Up to
It's
Win.
not business news.
Customers will instead scan their Tim Hortons app on their smartphone if they have
If
one.
you ask these people to explain or justify or give their apologetics for why they say the things they say they can't.
Including breakfast sandwiches and streaming services.
It's the
Subscriptions
most
to streaming
disgusting shit
services
in the world you
51
can put in your
this
mouth.
year. And the chain also
They've
said
got
it's
the
doing
worst
away with the
coffee.
dreaded "please play again" message. Instead, Tim Hortons said every roll.
Everything you point out they're doing wrong, so oh really? And then they do more?
Reward points. Meantime,
Don't you
interesting
count
news
the
from
money when the
7-Eleven.
club's on,
The
and then go
convenience
to make
store
food?
chain telling 680 News that it's applying.
And they'll yell at you if you have someone voting.
Ontario stores.
The two of you here, why are you no more job? Oh, okay, well, fine, give me back my money.
Store. They want to sell some Ontario-made beer and wine. Air Canada, meantime, its proposed
These
takeover
are the
of the
people that are
Air Transat has been
essential.
implemented down
They
now
have
after
spread this
European
shit to
regulators
make
failed
them.
to
I'm not
approve
saying this
the
was the
deal by
reason,
a
but they've spread this shit and now it's made themselves essential. Wow, that's
in their statement today, they have no intention of negotiating an extension to the deal. But I mean, it's really, really up in the air now. And I mean, obviously, it hasn't been a great time for the airline industry in general. Not getting a lot of support from the government, certainly not what they'd like. But yeah, they could see some other players come to this game here.
Air Canada stock up 4.8% $23.42. Transat AT was down 7.8% on the news. TSX notched another record high today as it added 32 points to 18,492. Dow also had a record. Dow was up 64 points to 31,522. Though the S&P fell 2 points, the Nasdaq was down 47 as investors eyed rising U.S. bond yields. Canadian dollar at 78.67 cents U.S. Top stories tonight are next on 680 News.
Why pay more? Switch your current alarm system to the monitoring center today and take advantage of our wholesale monitoring rates starting as low as $9.99 per month. Call for your free quotation. Think the Monitoring Center for your home security. Switch your alarm system to the Monitoring Center today and save. Think security? Think the Monitoring Center. Why? Because we care.
1-866-24-7 or $9.99. 1-866-24-7 or $9.99. First, your disability insurer denies your long-term disability claim, and then your employer threatens to fire you if you don't return to work. Sound familiar? My name is Aaron Waxman, and if your disability insurer denies your disability claim for any reason, or if your employer threatens to fire you because you're too sick to work, call me at 416-661-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, we only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
680 News Time, 12 midnight.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
This is Wednesday, February 17th. Good morning. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Christine Ritchie. Here's what's making news this hour.
All positive cases of COVID-19 are now being tested for variants of concern, as Ontario health officials confirm more than 300 of these mutations
I'm not going to have antibodies
have been
from any of this shit.
identified across the province.
Happening right now, a few
It's
thousand
6 in the
customers
morning
without power near Midland and Eglinton in Scarborough. Toronto Hydro is at the scene.
Is it worth the risk for snowbirds who choose to stay down south because of the new travel restrictions? One Toronto personal injury lawyer says they may face health insurance coverage complications. A Halton police officer charged in an incident caught on camera last April that showed a young man being shoved to the ground in an Oakville parking lot.
The Raptors get OG and Anunoby back
Yeah,
in the
like the
lineup
tree.
and find themselves back in the win column after a
we
win in
named shit up there.
Milwaukee.
Cold
Sports at 15.
animal or tree.
In Wall Street coming off a
Cold
mixed
lake.
session as the Bank of America
Cold
says
what?
another retail trading frenzy could be around the corner, linking past rallies to stimulus checks.
Well, sort of.
680 News Time, 12:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Good morning, Craig Gear.
It's not that everybody took their stimulus checks and bought stocks. Hey,
This
that's not
report
what
brought
happened.
to you by Search Kings. We have some construction blocking some ramps. Westbound Major Mackenzie ramp to the southbound 404.
Well, you
They're
got
closing
apps.
that
You
one
can
down.
day trade from
Rest line
anywhere.
Evans Avenue
Well, I
ramps
was
to the
anyway.
northbound
I don't think it
427 also closed off.
No fees.
Some lane restrictions as well. Westbound 401 through Markham Road and the collectors.
It's doing it. Don't know how to do the math to figure
North
it.
of King Road up to
See the wrong number on your
two left lanes are
screen.
closed. City
Go
streets,
so crazy,
McAllen
kill
and
yourself.
Lawrence blocked
I don't
with down
understand
wires. Looking
No,
for
because
better
they're going to
results
come
from
down
your
on
Google advertising,
applications,
switch to
cell
Search
phones,
Kings,
news
winner of the
feeds,
Google Premier
and
Partner
versus
Customer
stock
Satisfaction
exchanges and
Award.
traders. And
Your search is over.
And
Let
that's
Search
not the
Kings help your
problem.
customers find you.
It's because you can't
Next report's
outsmart
at
stupid.
12:11 with the forecast. Here's Adam Stiles.
A chilly start to the
In
day today.
brokerage
Looks like we'll
accounts,
see
you'll
some sunshine
see
early
like
on, and winter
different
value that'll be close to
amounts as your
-25
ballots
by the
are
afternoon,
available,
heading up to a
whatever.
daytime high of -4.
You have to wait till all your
Winds are
trades
light
settle
out
to
of
really
the
figure it
southwest,
out.
increasing cloud cover on the way throughout the afternoon. Today's high -4.
And right now it's -11, feeling like a -17 without wind, and we have a clear sky. 680 News Time, 12:03.
Despite new daily COVID-19 cases in Ontario around or below the 1,000 mark in recent weeks, 3 more contagious variants are spreading through the province at dangerous levels.
680's Michelle Mackey joins us with the latest warnings from provincial health officials.
The province's Associate Medical Officer of Health says 7% of positive COVID-19 cases since February 3rd have been identified as variants of concern, for a total of 319. Of those cases, Dr. Barbara Yaffe says 309 are the UK variant, 9 the South African variant, and 1 is the Brazilian variant. Nearly half are in the GTA.
49 cases in York, 38 in Toronto,
How many black people in
38 in
Kent?
Peel, and 18 in Durham.
No, I'm not up to
Concerning
date on
numbers for
Britain.
Dr. Michael
I
Warner,
refuse to
medical
be
director of
indoctrinated
Critical Care
to,
at Michael
like,
Garron
you
Hospital,
won't set the
who
time
says
for the world,
we're
and I got
reopening
no more
too
time for
soon.
you.
Well, we have evidence from other
What?
jurisdictions that are 2 to 3 months ahead of us in the pandemic, but the impact of these variants, we know they're more transmissible.
Dr. Warner suggests holding the line for a few more weeks until we see how community spread, illness, and death are impacted by these variants before reopening. I'm Michelle Mackey.
The York Region COVID-19 Enforcement Task Force laying 24 charges against residents and businesses after visiting over 1,700 across the region last week. 11 charges issued by York Police and the City of Markham. The City of Vaughan and Richmond Hill issued 1 charge each under the Reopening Ontario Act. The task force also issuing over 700 compliance education activities between February 8th and February 14th. Some of the businesses facing the $880 fine include Markham Laymoon Restaurant Cafe on Yonge Street and Vaughan Walmart on Applewood Crescent. The charges vary from not enforcing mask wearing to holding indoor dining services.
After digging out from underneath all that snow, it's time to get warm. The city of Toronto is now under an extreme cold weather alert. 680's meteorologist Natasha Remsahai says it will likely stay in place into the overnight.
As we drop to minus 16 degrees tonight, that morning wind chill closer to minus 20. Daytime highs over the next few days, not quite as cold. Will be between minus 2 to minus 4 as we head into the weekend.
And the city issues an extreme cold weather alert when temperatures are expected to drop below minus 15. Warming centers are open across the city.
Happening right now, Toronto Hydro says around 5,000 customers, up to at least, are being affected by a power outage in Scarborough. Crews working to restore power, and this is bordered from Ellesmere down to Eglinton and Midland over to Markham Road. They expect the lights and the heat to be back on for around 3:30 this morning. As you heard Craig say in traffic, there are reports of overhead wires down at Lawrence and Midland. That's smack dab in the middle of this outage. That could be the cause. Toronto Hydro tweeting they are working as quickly and safely as possible because of the extreme cold weather alert in the city. Stay with 680 News for
Could be two
updates.
completely unrelated things.
Officials in Durham are expressing concern about how a postponed March break in Ontario will impact the well-being of students and staff. In a meeting last night, Durham District School Board's Director of Education, Nora Marsh, says they're working on a plan.
We know that for many people who've been
Did kids go to school today? Like, did they really go to school?
To chunk and to think about chunking time in terms of being able to get through certain periods. And so the delay of a month a ripple impact in terms of people's coping strategies.
And she says the new vacation time doesn't correspond with their quadmester system and has also thrown out lesson and assessment planning for a loop. Ontario's education minister announced the delay of March break last week, citing the risk of a rise in variant cases if people have the opportunity to gather in groups.
Winter weather conditions in the U.S. getting the blame this time for the latest delay in COVID-19 vaccine shipments to Canada. A Trudeau government spokesperson confirming to 680 News the Pfizer vaccine shipments were supposed to arrive yesterday, but are now delayed by 24 to 36 hours because of the poor weather conditions on both sides of the border. Specifically, a UPS cargo terminal in Kentucky had to temporarily shut down due to the buildup of snow and ice, which caused the delay. It's now expected for the full shipment of Pfizer vaccines to arrive.
So they're just sitting there unattended right now.
New travel restrictions now in place for those coming to Canada means some snowbirds are considering staying down south just a little longer. The 680's Phil Martino reports that decision could create problems with their health insurance coverage.
Despite the federal government's advisory not to travel, some seniors have chosen to fly south for the winter, and they may stay longer because of the new travel restrictions. Nanesh Kodak of Kodak Personal Injury Law says if snowbirds opt to extend their vacations, they may not be covered by their health insurance. He says there are a number of policies that do carry COVID coverage.
So they really have to look at that fine print of their policy.
What is COVID coverage? Hey, you go to the hospital in the U.S. for this shit, you gotta pay too, right?
Say, well, I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna call. Last minute, don't do that, obviously. To make the call well in advance, how am I going to be covered?
He says, is it worth the risk?
is the question many have to ask. Until Martino.
Yeah, but you won't mention the aging cohort, all the rest. You won't mention
last
that.
spring, showing a man being pushed to the ground in an Oakville parking lot. 680's Kevin Lee has those details.
The footage, which is less than a minute long, shows 4 police officers approaching a young man in a parking lot. One of them shoving him several times, causing him to fall to the ground. Halton police said they responded to the plaza at 3rd Line and Dundas Street in Oakville on April 8th, 2020. After getting reports someone was loitering. Constable Jason Mathers now charged with assault with a weapon
In a parking lot.
He was already suspended with pay following the incident last spring. The 3 other officers in the video moved to administrative duties, and Waterloo Regional Police took over the criminal investigation. In a statement, Halton's police chief says they recognize the actions of their officers have the potential to undermine public trust and policing as a whole. He says they
Yeah, but it's not about, again, sociopathic tendencies there. Oh, I have to make you trust me. No, you don't. What does trust have to do with anything? What about the fact you just assaulted a guy? That's a gang assault.
Line 1 between Finch and Eglinton stations is for tunnel and signal
Did you say
upgrades.
4 of them?
Shuttle buses will be running. The scheduled changes will last until
Loitering
Thursday, but
in a
regular
parking lot.
service will resume in time.
Just waiting for Uber, stupid. Like, it could be anything.
North York Center Station will also be closed.
680 News Time 1209.
This is 680 News.
Your life has taken a bit of a break, but your dental health shouldn't. At Ultima Dental, our enhanced cleaning and sterilization protocols will help keep you safe at your appointment, while our team of professionals keep your oral and overall health in check. We also offer our patients a 0% interest payment plan, so you can get the treatment you need when you need it. Located across Ontario and the GTA, contact your local Ultima clinic or visit ultimadental.com to find a dental professional near you. Ultima Dental. Care beyond your smile.
Now, the 680 News gas price update and process. Price of gas did not change at midnight and held at $1.17.9 a liter. Traffic and weather is next.
680 News Time 1210.
When businesses join forces with 680 News, not only does it get their company's message out there, it's also the start of a beautiful relationship.
Who knows where this is all going to go, but we always have a lot of fun, don't we?
Bill Coy of Coy Brothers is never at a loss for words, especially when it comes to his experiences with 680 News.
Well, Coy Brothers, who knows what the heck we do. We do all kinds of things.
But he still advertises his lawn and grounds maintenance equipment business to the
You got any of them quartered chainsaws?
Well, with 14 family members, we have to grow the business.
We used to
reach the widest audience. 680 is what our customers listen to, and it's worked very well for us. Regardless of what nationality, whether it's men and women, everyone listens to 680.
And Bill, do you recommend people to advertise with 680?
Yeah, we definitely recommend 680. There's no question about it, unless you're one of our competitors. Then no, this doesn't work at all.
680 News works for Coy Brothers. Get 680 News working for you. Visit 680ads.com. That's 680ads.com.
680 News Time 1211.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Pizza. A new problem place activity has
Is that why it's 30 minutes fucking late? Oh,
off to 9th line. Shut down for this police investigation. The rest is construction. Westbound major back ramp to the southbound 404 closed.
They're calling it plantaroni. You might as well just put carrot slices or something on the fucking pizza.
Also blocked off. Few lane restrictions
Blocked
too.
off.
Like on the westbound 401 through Markham Road and the collectors. The right
Oh, I read
lane's
a bunch
blocked.
of shit.
Northbound
Before I
400
started
north
this.
of
Oh,
King
two
Road
of
up
these
to Aurora Road.
minutes,
2 left lanes are shut down. City streets, McCowan and
more.
Lawrence still blocked with downed wires. Now at Pizza, order a large 3-topping pizza and 3
Read
drinks.
this out so you see how ludicrous all this shit is.
Just $13.99. Order online or on the Pizza app. Next report at 12:21 with the forecast. Here's Adam Stiles.
A chilly start to the day. Wind chill in the morning in the minus mid-20s. Bundle up. The extreme cold weather alert still in place. Daytime highs near -4. It's going to feel like -9 into the afternoon. Southwest wind up to 25 kilometers per hour.
Okay, but it's doing 29. No, -9. Hey, fuck you. 25 kilometers.
For tomorrow, a couple of lake effect flurries into the west end of the GTA. -8 the afternoon wind chill. We'll keep an eye on some snow Thursday night into Friday morning. For now,
Looks like it could be a moderate snowfall. Today, it's a high of -4.
And right now we're sitting at -11, feeling like a -15 with wind under a clear sky. 680 News Time, 12:13.
2 kids playing in the snow outside their school in Whitby on Tuesday were buried alive by a plow clearing snow nearby. 680's Mark Douglas at the scene speaking to fast-thinking neighbors who ran in to help.
I feel really good because I was able to help save a life.
A boy and girl near a fence in the schoolyard at Julie Payette Public School here in Whitby. A snowplow clearing the lanes of the townhouses on the other side at about 9:30 in the morning. The plow buried the 12-year-old boy, partially buried the girl, and knocked over some of the fence. Neighbors like Noel here ran over to help as best they could.
The 2 kids under the snow and the fence on top of it. We're trying to push all the way as we could.
Noel says the boy was under the snow for 5 to 10 minutes and had blood on his face. A Durham Regional Police officer performed CPR until the paramedics arrived. The boy is now at a trauma center in Toronto. The girl made it out with only minor injuries.
I think anybody can, will do the same thing too. But, I just tried my best.
In Whitby, I'm Mark Douglas.
Your headlines are next.
680 News Time,
See, if you think I don't like cops or something, problem is the cops that I end up running into, I don't give a fuck about somebody dying. Sociopaths, criminals.
Stroke would claim a life every 5 minutes. This message is deadly serious. At Heart and Stroke, we're funding and discovering medical breakthroughs to keep you.
Look, we got dozens of videos of me being attacked and assaulted by people and cops and whatever. I'm still the one that goes to jail. I'm still the one on bail.
And beat as one.
I can't get a hold of anybody on the fucking phone, so I gave up trying.
Top to bottom. So we're reducing prices on everything. TVs to home theater, appliances to headphones. It's the inventory sell-off at Visions Electronics, and we're marking everything down up to 70% off. Plus, take up to 36 months to pay interest-free. Your best price guaranteed, and a bonus 2-year warranty on premium TVs. And also, I shouldn't be operating this forklift. Sorry. See the flyer at visions.ca.
Forklift skill people. See, you get 2 little kids almost killed, and then it's funny to joke about in a commercial. No common sense, no sensibility towards humanity whatsoever.
Clear sky. Good morning. I'm Scott Burnett.
So it seems funny till you do the math and realize forklifts weigh 10, 20,000 pounds or more. So like somebody pick up shipping containers. There's no stopping it. It'll put you right through a concrete block wall. It'll bust your legs up, your anything. It'll fuck you up. It'll crush you. And when they swing around, the back end will flatten you against a wall, a post, anything.
Residents and businesses in Scarborough. Toronto Hydro says the average stretches from Ellesmere to Eglinton.
That's the type of vehicle you can make, an electric battery-powered vehicle. There's a shitload of those.
Which could be the issue. Estimated time of restoration around 3:30 in the morning. Also happening right now, it's an extreme cold weather alert in effect for the city of Toronto, with wind chills going to be in the minus.
They have to be heavy, and they shouldn't be moving too fast.
This evening, your forecast is coming up in just about 5 minutes of time.
And they got old school lead acid batteries. They just plug into the wall, charge up. Very simple.
To seal a win in Milwaukee. Lopez with an awful looking handle, and as he tried to go to the tin, he was doubled up on a block by 2:25 to go.
It's about defense from here on in.
Yeah, you're gonna start. I know. You hate weed. I know. Because weed dealers never do anything to help child traffickers. No, you're gonna do this now. Then we're just gonna start over. Fuck you. All you get for this one's news, buddy.